Hi there, I'm back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm talking about Ultimate FPS, which you can find on the Unity Asset Store. This is the version 1.4.9 as of January 27th. And I'm also using this realistic car controller by Bone Cracker Games. This version is version 2.3 as of February 13th. He added a enter and exit scripts, which makes it a little easier to use with first-person cameras and stuff. So here it is in action. I am first-person. I'm UFPS. I'm just the advanced player. So when I walk up to a vehicle from a certain distance, I hit the F key. I'm in the vehicle, I hit the F key, and I'm out of the vehicle. And it doesn't go all crazy. For this vehicle, you can see I put a player in there just to make it look like you're driving it. And when you hop out, the player's gone. And you can go into any of these vehicles that came with it. So I'm using the under realistic car controller, under the scenes, this RCC demo scene with enter and exit. And I made as always, a couple slight changes. So first thing you want to do is turn off the first person controller that comes with it. I dragged in the advanced player from Ultimate FPS. It is under the players prefabs. So right here, I just dragged this advanced player in. And then I added this, so under the advanced player, the FPS camera, I added the EnterExit script, which comes with the realistic car controller. It's under the scripts folder, so it's called EnterExitCamera. It's the same one that is right here on the controller that comes with it. So I've got that set up. My script's going to look different because I added this. I edited their script basically. So on all the vehicles, you're going to need to find this EnterExitCar script. It's already on these vehicles in this scene, so you're going to change this advanced player to the player, and you'll see they've already set up this get out transform. So all of these have a location on the vehicle. So for instance, this one's here, that when you trigger the script to exit the vehicle, your player character is going to be right there. And basically the script calls the jump action. So you've got that one there, and for some reason they're all in different locations. So there's the one on the van, it's under the chassis collider. The SUV one is on the chassis. The sedan one is under the car mesh. And so on. Another thing that I did was I updated the layers. So if you go under the layers, I just followed the directions. They had layer 8 is called car collider, layer 9 is wheel, and layer 10 is road. I don't know if you need this or not, but I updated those. So for all of those scripts, you need to make sure that the advanced player references your player. On the main camera, I wanted to be able to use the rotate camera so that when you hit play, I wanted to be able to either use the default, which is this, so this is the default camera where it's fixed in one position, and if I hit C, now I have the this camera's enabled. So it'll switch between this camera, which is fixed, and this camera that's not. So I added this script. Basically, here's my script. Where's it at? I'm not going to post this anywhere, so if you want to use this script, you need to just copy this down. So I created a namespace, and here's my script. So I'm looking for, so you have to have this car camera and the car orbit on your main camera, these two scripts, otherwise it won't work. So I've got a boolean for current camera, just checking it. I've got a public key code so that you can change it here to whatever you're using to switch, to change your camera. So if you're in this vehicle and you hit the character C, it'll change the camera. It'll swap between these two. And so start, I'm just getting all my components, and then I've turned the orbit camera off. And I'm also getting the this camera right here, because so that I can check to see if it's enabled. And then I'm checking to see if I'm just grabbing the target, because what happens, the enter and exit camera, it actually sets this player car. It'll change this as part of the enter and exit script. So what I'm doing is I'm just saying, okay, whatever the whatever that this value is, make this value the same. I'm just setting them the same. That way I didn't have to edit any of their scripts anymore. And so if my camera, this camera right here, is turned off, then we're not going to do anything else. I'm just going to return. Otherwise, if it's enabled, I'm grabbing my key code, which is right here, and if the orbit camera is enabled, then I'm going to switch it. So I'm going to make it, I'm basically going to say, okay, well, my boolean for orbit is false and camera is true, otherwise true or false. That way every time you hit C, it's going to switch whatever. So I've got my orbit camera enabled, it's going to be whatever the result is here. My camera enabled is going to be whatever the result is here. And so as you remember, the orbit camera is this one, and the my camera is this one. Okay, now if you're interested in adding this so that you can change the key code, I made it F for, because that's what my input manager is for UFPS. The actual interact is set as F. So I'm just using that. So if you want this, then keep watching. And if you also want to edit this script so that you have your hero either show up when you're in or disappear when you're out, then keep watching, because I edited these two scripts. So if you're still watching, on the EnterExitCar here's the changes that I made. So I added below line 12, I added a comment, and I added a tooltip for myself so that when I'm over here, this little tooltip pulls up. So basically I'm doing another public key code. So this is my interaction key code, and I'm just setting the default to F. That way in the editor you can change it to whatever you want. And then I'm grabbing my GameObject character in the car, which here it's going to be, so you can see I set it to that. The other ones I didn't add them. on the van I put it, so on the van I just put it empty. I was just testing it out. So if you don't add this, the script is going to, it'll be fine, it'll still work. So it's not going to error out. So on line 24, which is going to be the new line, I just changed their input key button down, this key down. They had KeyCode.C, I think, or something like that. So I changed it to be this interaction key code. And below line 50, you'll see this vehicle broadcast row. So I added if the character in the car is not null, so if this has been populated, then I'm going to turn it on. So set active to true. Similar down here on line 63, which is below this vehicle.GetComponent. I'm doing the opposite, so I'm checking if it's not null, I'm going to make it false. On the, I did similar type changes on the EnterExitCamera. So below line 7, I added another tooltip. Basically, it's just telling you to make sure that whatever key code you're using on this EnterExitCamera, use the same one here, because when you're in the car, there's not a GUI menu that shows up. So that way the player will know, oh, I hit F to enter the car, so that means I probably have to hit F to get out of the car. So it's the same. I did interactionKeyCode. And then I found the same getKeyDown on the script, and I changed it to interactionKeyCode. And then inside the GUI label, which is way down in the onGUI method, I changed, if you look at the GUI label, it'll have a bunch of parameters, and the very last piece I changed it to this. So basically, when you're playing, whatever key you enter, when you walk up to the vehicle, it'll have that key. See, so right there, press F key to use. So if this was the shift key or whatever, it would say press shift to use. And their script, they actually have this distance, so you can see it doesn't matter where you enter from. You just come into the vehicle at any point, and this will pop up. And then you can get in the vehicle, change your camera, and hop out of the vehicle. So that's it. That's everything I did. It works well. And you know, if you want to use this realistic car controller, it's great that they added the script, so you could do that. And if eventually, so the reason I wanted to use this orbit camera is because eventually I want to put a gun on some of these vehicles, so that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it so that wherever the vehicle is pointing, that's the direction that the gun is pointing, so that when you shoot, it'll shoot in that direction. This also works with the mobile controls. I tested it out and it works well. So on the mobile controls, it's I'm just testing an editor, so you'll see when I walk up to it, I have to press the Z key and you can get in or get out. I also added this script to my player right here, so that it basically turns off my UFPS in GUI whenever the player's disabled. So it's, you know, it's pretty straightforward. Just a extremely basic script. So this way, if you're in the car, your player GUI turns off. If you're out of the car, your player GUI turns on. Everything, all the other settings are pretty much the same. You just want to make sure that you're referencing the right